Hello everyone, welcome to Geektonight. The topic today we're going to discuss is about performance appraisal. I'm Vishal, one of the content writers at Geektonight, presenting you today. Firstly, what is performance appraisal? Performance appraisal works towards measuring the performance quality of the job holder. Performance appraisal evaluates the job holder's performance over a period of time against these standards and targets. Performance appraisal consists of all formal procedures used in working organizations to evaluate personalities and contributors and potentials of group members by Dale Yoder. And the next topic we're going to discuss is about performance appraisal versus job evaluation. Performance appraisal versus job evaluation. Job evaluation measures the value of worth of a job, whereas performance appraisal evaluates the performance quality of the job holder. Job evaluation is not done as regularly as performance appraisal. Performance appraisal is an ongoing process and repeated after a particular period of time. The aim of evaluating a job is to create a pay scale for a job in comparison to other jobs in the organization. Performance appraisal is carried out to determine incentives, rewards, promotions, or demotion of the employees. The last one, job evaluation, is carried out by specialists in the area, while performance appraisal is mostly carried out by the supervisor. The next topic we're going to discuss is about objectives of performance appraisal. There are quite a few objectives of performance appraisal, and the very first one is pay rise, second one is promotions, and the third one is feedback system, fourth training and development program, fifth improved supervision, sixth career planning, seventh healthy and productive work environment, and seventh improves communication. The very first one that we're going to discuss is about pay rise. In objectives of performance appraisal, pay rise plays a crucial role, as performance appraisal can be used as a yardstick to decide upon the pay rises and other benefits to be given at an employee. It should be based on employee performance and merit rather than seniority. This keeps the employee motivated. And the next one is promotions. Since it evaluates the employees on the basis of their merit and performance quality, it helps in taking decisions regarding the promotions and job change of the employees. The third one is feedback system. It acts as a feedback platform for the employee where he can be made aware of how well he is performing the job. His strengths and weaknesses can be discussed. The fourth one is training and development program. After performance appraisals, gaps between the standards achieved by the employees can be measured. Employees can be informed about the skills they need to develop for improving their current performance or further promotion or pay rise. The fifth one is improved supervision. Since performance appraisal happens periodically, it becomes important for the supervisor to observe the subordinates closely and continuously so as to give a clear and proper feedback at the time of performance appraisal. The sixth one is career planning. Performance appraisal facilitates career planning for the employees. Their strengths and weaknesses are analyzed and discussed. The areas where they have the potential to grow are identified, which helps the management in human resource planning. The seventh one is healthy and productive environment. Since the achievements and hard work of the employees are identified and awarded, there is a sense of satisfaction amongst the workers. They are motivated to achieve higher standards and quality of output in order to gain more appreciation, incentives, and bonuses, etc. The last one improves communication. Performance appraisal is a continuous process. It timely provides a format for dialogue between the supervisor and subordinate. It gives a platform where they can freely talk about their personal goals and concerns. It helps in improving the relationship and trust between the supervisor and the subordinate. The next topic we're going to discuss is about essentials of performance appraisal. Essentials of performance appraisal are various and as follows. The first one is reliable measures, standardization, just and fair, viability, clear objective, trained appraisers, feedback and participation. The last one is confidential. The first one, reliable measures. In order to achieve consistent and valid results and information from a performance appraisal system, it is important to use reliable measures to quantity and to quantify all observations and reports to rate an employee's performance. Second one is standardization. There should be well-defined criteria, appraisal procedures, and rating systems to appraise the employees. The third, just and fair. Employee performance appraisal is done on objective and subjective measures. It should be made sure that there is no bias or favoritism while ratings are decided by the supervisor. Fourth one, viability. The technique should be realistic in terms of its implementation and cost involved. And the fifth one, clear objective. The key to an effective appraisal is the establishment of appraisal objectives behind the performance appraisal being undertaken. The sixth one is trained appraisers. An effective outcome of the performance appraisal process highly depends on how well is the evaluator or the appraiser is trained in conducting a performance appraisal in an efficient manner. The seventh one is feedback and participation. The main purpose of performance appraisal is to make the employee aware of his performance levels, strengths and weaknesses, and areas that require improvement. The last one is confidential. Appraisal results should be handled as private and confidential information in order to maintain a healthy competitive atmosphere in the organization. Only people with an approved need to know should have access to an employee's performance appraisal results. After essentials of performance appraisal, we discuss about problems in performance appraisal. There are various problems and challenges faced in performance appraisal. Broadly, problems in performance appraisal are categorized into four types. The first one is judgment error. In judgment error, there are few types of problems that affect the performance appraisal of the employee, that are halo effect, horn effect, influence of first impression, leniency, central tendency, stereotyping, recency effect, consequence of appraisal. And the next one is inappropriate appraisal methods and forms. And the third one is lack of training. And the fourth one is ineffective implementation of performance appraisal. After we discuss problems in performance appraisal, we go to performance appraisal process. In performance appraisal process, there are quite a few elements that are as follows. The first one is objectives of performance appraisal. Next, job analysis and description. Communicate performance standards. Measuring actual performance, discussing the appraisal, taking corrective actions. The very first one is objectives of performance appraisal. Appraisals can be carried out for various reasons. These reasons might include deciding the pay rise and other benefits, promotions or demotions, job transfers, or even layoffs. In the above cases, some appraisals may be required to merely assess the performance, while others might aim at improving the performance. Next one is job analysis and job description. Job specification and establishing performance standards. Job analysis is the second step to the performance appraisal process. It is important to determine the job specifications, that is, the precise characteristics of a job, through an in-depth and detailed examination of the activities, tasks, duties, and responsibilities that are required to the job. Once that is decided, performance standards are set against each task and activity. It is very important that performance standards are clear and measurable. Goals behind each task of the job should be mentioned. Each goal should be achievable and measurable within a certain time and cost consideration. The next one is communicate performance standards. A job description should be very clear to the appraiser and the appraisee. They should know very well what all tasks and duties are expected out of them by clearly understanding the goal behind each task. Performance standards should be communicated to the appraisee. The feedback should be taken on the set targets and standards. The communication needs to be a two-way communication where it should be open to any doubts or discussions, and the appraisee should be coached and guided by the appraiser on how to achieve the performance standards effectively. Next one, measuring actual performance. After setting up the performance standards, communicating them to the appraisee and mutual acceptance is the next step to measure the actual performance against the standard set. The performance can be measured objectively and subjectively through reports, information, and observation by the supervisor, etc. While doing this, the influence of the employee performance of both external and internal factors is also considered. Objective performance can be measured through reports, quantitative output, etc., and hence are easy to verify. Subjective performance measure mainly depends on the observation and feedback by the supervisor and evaluates a person on his attitude, decision making, taking initiatives, contributions to the society, cultural values of the organization, etc. And the last second one is discussing the appraisal. The actual performance when compared to the standards might at times be above the expectation, and sometimes it might go off the track, and the same is discussed with the employees. The last one is taking corrective actions if necessary. Once the deviation from the actual performance is measured, corrective actions are taken to help enhance the performance of the appraisee so that and he meets the expected standards. Similarly, on the above expected performances, the employee is rewarded using different motivational tools. Thank you for watching the video. Subscribe to Geektonight for more videos and amazing content. Read this full article on Geektonight. Link is in the description. I'm Vishal, one of the content writers at Geektonight, signing off. Bye.